Well, you may be wondering why I haven't made any progress on the hardtop over the last couple of weeks. But one reason is I've been at quite a number of car shows, and that's used up quite a lot of weekends. And the other is this lot here. I picked up a large stash of parts that I've been starting to go through and catalog and see what's usable and what's not. I've already sold a couple of things from this. A lot of this stuff is from a nine stud windscreen Bugeye, so pre-October 58. A couple of clues, the door handles or the door latches has a longer lever with no knob on the end. I do have the 9 stud windshield frame, but unfortunately it's bent. You may be able to get straightened out. I'll have a closer look at that a bit later. But grills and that, one of them I thought was started out to look really good. All the pins are in place, but there is a hole in it. This other one, all the pins are missing. It's got holes drilled in it. I've got a whole bunch of headlight stuff with buckets, rims, headlights themselves, tail light stuff. I have 4 wheels, 2 vented and 2 non-vented. I've got the front suspension for both sides still all together for drum brakes. Don't have the brake drums, but I do have the springs and that, but I think they were sitting outside for quite some time. I have a bunch of heater stuff. I have an old vintage AM radio, very used set of H1 carbs, a couple of body pieces. I got the battery and heater plenum chunk there. I've got the engine mounting section there. I've got a rib case gearbox. It's currently got a manual or a mechanical clutch linkage, and it's not set up for a hydraulic clutch. I had the same situation with mine, so I just was able to source the proper bits for it to convert it to hydraulic. This is from a later car because it's got a reverse light switch on it. I have 1 axle housing and 1 complete rear axle with a 422 rear end. I was kind of hoping it might have been from a later car with a 3.9, but that's not the case. A bunch of miscellaneous bits and pieces. Some of this, I don't know if it's going to be usable or salvageable. The steering wheel, unfortunately, is, someone might be able to refurbish this or restore it, but that doesn't look very good. A couple of shift towers down in here, brake box, a couple of fan blades, a starter motor, air cleaners from a later car. They're not complete though. I haven't found the other plate for this, so I don't think it's here. I've got a front bumper from a Bugeye. Unfortunately, it's bent. I'm not too sure about this bumper here. I believe it's off a midget, either front or rear. I've got steering column, complete steering rack. I have 2 of the actual rack part that goes inside the steering rack assembly. That's in the plastic bag there. I've got heater bits over here. 2 sets of top bows from an earlier car. One of them is broken. One is bent, but could be. But I'm going to attempt to straighten it out and make it usable again. The broken one, I'm going to utilize those parts to make a wind blocker, but that's another project. I have a dashboard here that's pretty solid, other than the fact that someone's drilled it for a cigarette lighter and for a radio. And unfortunately, all the chalk marks on the back of it are missing. I've got a couple of the grab handles. I've got some of the gauges that were in it. One was spare. I have another steering cone for a left-hand drive car. There's some brake line bits. I've got like the 4-way fitting that goes on the right-hand side of the engine bay. I got speedo cable, tack cable. There's a very iffy tonneau cover here. There's actually an old white one underneath there that's a short tonneau. So I don't know if anybody might be interested in that. I have a very early radiator. You can tell the difference. This one's a later one. You can see it's got the shrouds around the inside of it, and this one doesn't. The later one looks in decent shape, but this one is pretty messed up on the front. And you can see I don't know what kind of shape that would be in. Might be salvageable with a new core or whatever. A couple of heater boxes. I believe this harness is from a later car, and it's got a different fuse block on it. I believe that to be the original harness. It doesn't look to be in the best of shape, but I think what I'm going to do is keep all the connectors and what have you. And also, I have two of the rear cockpit trim, one of which looks like it might be in better shape than the one on my car, so I might switch that out. There's two of the front cockpit trim, the one that goes over the dashboard, and you can see the one there is covered in the same vinyl that the dashboard is. And I have two door trims for the right-hand side door and one for the left-hand side door. So I don't think I stopped really at this box here on my quick tour. I've got 4 different distributors in here. 2 of them are 25Ds. Got an old clutch slave. I think I'll just dispose of that one. This one I think is an M2 distributor. That one's a 25D. That one's a 25D. And this one is a DM. It's one of the parking brake cable. I've got a fuel sender here that looks pretty rusty. And another cap here. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of stuff that I need to go through and sort out. I've got 3 different door pockets, 2 for one door, 1 for the other, that are fairly sound. So those will probably be going, I'll be making those available. So a couple of the other items that I kind of missed a minute ago is there's a left-hand side floor pan and a left-hand side outer sill. Now they're both bent a bit. The floor pan is bent up in this top corner here, and you can see this one's been kind of crushed and bent, but certainly salvageable, or parts of it are usable. So again, if you're interested in those at all, send me a message. So I still have a lot of sorting out to do, but if you spot anything in this lot that you might be interested in, you can send me a message at econoboxgarage@gmail.com. I'll have that in the description below. Once I get this sorted out, cataloged a bit more, figure out what's worth keeping, what isn't, I'll get back to work on the hardtop. Well, as you can see, the garage is a bit of a mess right now, but I'm working towards getting that cleaned up and getting all those parts sorted and organized. Well, that's just a quick overview of all the parts. If you're interested in anything, just send me a message and I'll get back to you with availability. But I haven't forgotten about the hardtop, so I'll be getting back to work on that very soon. I have a couple of other projects in mind for the car, one of which is upgrading the front wheel bearings. And I've got the kit from Moss Motors. And that kit replaces the original ball bearings with a more modern tapered roller bearings. So be watching for that video coming up in the not too distant future. Just like to say thank you for your continued support of the channel with merchandise purchases, with subscribing, commenting, and all of that. My name is Ian. This is the Econobox Garage. We'll see you next time.